The story begins in Geneva, deep underground at CERN, where the hum of machinery resonates like the heartbeat of the Earth itself. Lights flicker along polished steel walkways, monitors casting a cold blue glow. A lone scientist works late, his lab coat crisp but stained from long hours of experiment. The antimatter vial, small as a pill, rests in its secure container, a substance of almost unimaginable energy. Every second seems to thrum with danger, though he doesn't know it yet. Suddenly, the world tilts. The scientist convulses violently, clutching his chest, eyes wide in shock. Smoke curls from a wound burned into his flesh, and there it is, the ancient symbol of the Illuminati, seared into his skin with horrifying precision. His body collapses on the floor, lifeless, as alarms wail and security rushes in. The antimatter vial is gone. A chill runs through the lab. A threat has been unleashed that could obliterate entire cities. Half a world away, Harvard symbologist Robert Langdon sleeps uneasily, stirred by an urgent call. The voice on the other end is tense, clipped, professional. A murder, a symbol, and a warning. Langdon's mind snaps awake. Symbols are never random, he knows. They are language, history, secrets encoded in art, architecture, and culture. Something ancient has awakened. The Illuminati, thought extinct for centuries, have resurfaced. Within hours, Langdon boards a plane to Geneva, his mind already racing through centuries of history, religious conflict, and secret societies. At CERN, he meets Vittoria Vetra, young, brilliant, grieving, and furious at the murder of her father. Her eyes, sharp and alert, scan the lab, cataloging evidence with precision. Together, they examine the scene. The burned symbol, the chaos, the faint scent of ozone, and the unnerving absence of the vial. Vittoria explains the science. Antimatter is small, almost invisible, but its energy rivals that of a nuclear explosion. Mishandled, it would annihilate everything within the Vatican. Langdon studies the symbol, tracing its origins through centuries of art and manuscripts, recognizing its shape in frescoes, inscriptions, even hidden in plain sight in churches. This is no ordinary crime. It is a message, a challenge, a hunt, and the hunt has already begun. The investigation takes them through labs and secure corridors, through halls of glass and steel that echo with tension. Each detail is crucial. The temperature of the antimatter chamber, the fingerprints, the scattered papers, the faint scorch marks. Every observation adds another thread to the web. Langdon and Vittoria exchange rapid-fire deductions, their minds synchronized, racing against time. As night falls over Geneva, they prepare to trace the trail to Rome, to the Vatican itself, where the Illuminati's plan threatens to reach its apex. Rome waits, ancient, shadowed, secretive, alive with centuries of whispers, with statues and piazzas that hide more than they reveal. Every alley, every fountain, every cobblestone holds a clue, a danger, a message, and the clock is ticking. Rome awakens under a soft golden dawn, the Tiber winding silently through centuries of history, its waters reflecting the first rays of the sun like molten gold. Langdon and Vittoria step off the plane, the air heavy with the scent of stone, incense, and centuries of secrets. The city is alive already, vendors setting up stalls, church bells ringing, pigeons scattering across piazzas. But beneath the routine hum, danger waits, invisible yet palpable. Their first stop is St. Peter's Basilica. The massive columns rise like sentinels, carved saints and angels staring down with stone eyes that have witnessed centuries of faith, politics, and power. Langdon's mind races as he notices subtle details. The shadow of a statue falling across a pattern in the marble, inscriptions that hint at symbols older than Christianity itself. Every detail could be a clue, every clue could be a trap. Inside the basilica, the tension tightens. The first cardinal, chosen by the Illuminati to represent Earth, has been taken. Langdon and Vittoria move swiftly, their footsteps echoing on marble floors, the cool air tinged with incense and fear. They follow cryptic signs, ancient symbols etched into walls and floors, leading them deeper into the hidden corridors beneath the church. The air grows colder, heavier. The weight of history presses down, each echo a warning. They reach a small, dimly lit chamber. Candles flicker, casting dancing shadows that twist like specters on the walls. There lies the cardinal, unconscious, marked by the element of earth. The symbol burned into his flesh is precise, deliberate, almost ceremonial. Langdon crouches, studying the markings, his mind mapping centuries of secret knowledge. Vittoria kneels beside him, checking for signs of life and calculating how much time remains before the next target is struck. Outside, Rome continues its unknowing rhythm. Tourists snap pictures of fountains and piazzas. Priests move silently through basilicas. But beneath it all, a deadly game unfolds. The Illuminati's hunt has begun, and Langdon and Vittoria are racing blind through a city of history, art, and faith, where every corner might conceal a trap or a clue. From the basilica, the trail leads them through cobblestone streets, winding alleys, and hidden courtyards. Langdon deciphers clues embedded in the art. A fresco's shadow, a sculpture's tilt, a centuries-old inscription barely visible beneath layers of grime. Vittoria translates scientific data into action, calculating timelines, tracing possible paths for the stolen antimatter, ensuring they stay ahead of the clock. Every second counts, every misstep could be fatal. Their first confrontation with the Illuminati's precision hits like a shockwave. A false lead, a near miss, and Langdon realizes the depth of cunning involved. The murders are not random, they follow the classical elements: earth, air, fire, water. Each cardinal represents one. Each death is symbolic, calculated, terrifyingly brilliant, and time is slipping away like sand through their fingers. Langdon and Vittoria pause briefly in a quiet piazza, the morning sun illuminating fountains that glisten like diamonds. Their breaths come fast, their minds sharp, scanning every corner. Rome is more than a city. It is a labyrinth, a living puzzle box. And somewhere, hidden within its beauty, the Illuminati watches, waits, and plans. The morning air is crisp as Langdon and Vittoria leave the Basilica, their minds racing faster than their feet. The second cardinal, representing air, has already been targeted. The streets of Rome stretch before them like a labyrinth of history, narrow alleys, sunlit piazzas, and shadowed corridors, all hiding secrets and dangers. The city hums with life, oblivious to the deadly game unfolding beneath its surface. Their first stop is an abandoned church near the Tiber, its doors hanging ajar, a subtle invitation or a trap. Inside, dust hangs in shafts of morning light, and the silence is oppressive, broken only by distant creaks and the flutter of pigeons disturbed by their entry. The cardinal lies bound, his chest marked with the air symbol, a precise, almost ritualistic incision. Langdon kneels, examining the markings, tracing patterns in his mind that span centuries. Vittoria checks the cardinal's pulse, her fingers trembling slightly despite her calm exterior. Every heartbeat is precious. Every second could mean life or death. From there, the trail twists into Rome's underworld, where narrow tunnels, ancient sewers, and forgotten crypts weave a hidden network beneath the city. The walls are damp, the air thick with the scent of earth and stone. Every step echoes like a drumbeat of tension. Langdon deciphers coded symbols etched into the walls centuries ago, inscriptions designed to mislead, guide, or warn the worthy. Vittoria illuminates the path with a small torch, her mind calculating probabilities, timelines, and escape routes. The next target is fire. Clues lead them to the Piazza Navona, a place of fountains and sunlit grandeur, where history and art converge. But the grandeur hides terror. Beneath the piazza, in a concealed chapel, the third cardinal has been captured. The symbol of fire is carved into his flesh with chilling precision. Flames from ceremonial candles dance across the walls, casting shadows that seem alive, flickering in rhythm with their rising panic. Langdon studies the scene, heart-pounding, mind mapping centuries of symbols and the Illuminati's method. Vittoria steps closer, her eyes sharp, translating subtle patterns into actionable knowledge. Rome itself becomes a character in the chase. Every alley, fountain, and statue tells a story. Every shadow could conceal a clue or a threat. Langdon and Vittoria move in near silence, adrenaline sharpening their senses. They feel the weight of history pressing down, the ghosts of centuries watching their every move. The line between the city's beauty and danger blurs, turning familiar streets into a labyrinth of peril and revelation. The fourth cardinal, representing water, awaits, though Langdon and Vittoria do not yet know where. The tension builds, the stakes rise. Every misstep could be fatal, every symbol could be the difference between life and death. The stolen antimatter remains unaccounted for, a ticking threat in the background, invisible yet ever-present, amplifying the suspense. As they pause briefly in a shadowed courtyard, the sun glinting off the Tiber in the distance, Langdon reflects on the Illuminati's brilliance. Each murder is symbolic, each symbol deliberate, each location chosen for historical and psychological significance. The city itself is a living puzzle, and they are running through its veins, unraveling secrets hidden in plain sight. Vittoria tightens her grip on the torch, eyes scanning for clues. Together, they descend into the next network of hidden corridors, the echoes of their footsteps mingling with centuries of whispers. Rome's underground tunnels twist and turn like a serpent, and somewhere ahead, the next confrontation waits. The chase is relentless, and the tension unyielding. The Tiber glistens under a pale late afternoon sun as Langdon and Vittoria race toward the final cardinal, representing water. The streets of Rome pulse with life, yet they move through a shadowed world, invisible to the bustling city above. Every step carries weight, every sound amplified. The distant bell of a church, the scrape of a cart on cobblestones, the hurried whispers of tourists unaware of the deadly game unfolding beneath them. The trail leads them to a secluded canal-side warehouse, abandoned and grimy, its brick walls darkened by centuries of grime. Inside, the scent of damp stone and stagnant water fills the air. The water cardinal lies chained to a marble pillar, the final Illuminati symbol etched into his chest. Candles flicker in the corners, shadows writhing across the walls like living specters. Langdon kneels, tracing the symbol with his eyes, recognizing centuries of hidden meaning, while Vittoria checks the cardinal's vital signs, calculating the time left before the stolen antimatter could cause catastrophe. From the warehouse, the trail twists into the Vatican itself. Every hallway, every chamber, every staircase is a potential trap. The ancient stones hold secrets that have withstood centuries of storms, wars, and human ambition. Langdon deciphers coded inscriptions embedded in frescoes and sculptures, while Vittoria studies scientific anomalies, patterns, and evidence pointing to the stolen antimatter's path. Together, they are the perfect team, intellect and intuition intertwined. The Vatican becomes a labyrinth of shadow and light. Corridors twist and spiral downward into hidden crypts. Staircases lead to chambers only a few have ever entered. Every statue seems alive, every fresco a riddle. Langdon's heart pounds as he realizes the complexity of the Illuminati's plan. The murders, the symbols, the locations, they all serve a purpose beyond death. They are part of a psychological puzzle, designed to manipulate faith, test courage, and expose the vulnerabilities of power. As they descend deeper into the Vatican's underbelly, Langdon begins to sense a deeper pattern. The Camerlengo, Patrick McKenna, the trusted guardian of the church, appears throughout the investigation with calm, reassuring authority. Yet subtle inconsistencies flicker through his behavior, small gestures, the way he emphasizes certain words, the almost imperceptible smirk when discussing danger. Langdon's instincts sharpen. Something is hidden in plain sight, and the key to the mystery may lie closer than anyone suspects. The stolen antimatter remains a shadowy threat. It is invisible, untouchable, a psychological sword hanging over the city. Every step forward, every clue deciphered, brings them closer to both salvation and disaster. The final confrontation looms, a collision of intellect, faith, and courage atop the heart of the Catholic world. As dusk settles over Rome, the city glows with an amber hue, casting long shadows that stretch across piazzas and rooftops. Langdon and Vittoria prepare for the ultimate challenge. The final cardinal has been found. The Illuminati's hunt reaches its climax. The Vatican's secrets are exposed, its ancient knowledge laid bare, and somewhere in the shadows, the orchestrator of the entire plan waits, cloaked in devotion, intellect, and the power of belief. Night falls over Rome, casting the city in deep blues and shadowed golds. The Vatican looms like a fortress of faith and history, its towering spires and massive domes silhouetted against the stars. Langdon and Vittoria move quickly through secret corridors beneath St. Peter's Basilica, torches flickering, casting long, quivering shadows across centuries-old stone. Every echo of their footsteps magnifies the tension. Every turn could conceal danger or revelation. The stolen antimatter, once feared as a weapon of mass destruction, hangs in the back of their minds like an invisible clock, its potential power amplifying every decision, every movement. Langdon deciphers symbols etched into the walls, frescoes, and sculptures, a language centuries old, revealing the Illuminati's cunning and knowledge. Vittoria calculates timelines and energy potentials, matching intellect with intuition, mind with heart. The labyrinth of the Vatican stretches around them like a living entity, ancient and watchful. Finally, atop the grand dome of St. Peter's, the confrontation reaches its zenith. The city sprawls beneath them, lights shimmering along cobblestones and piazzas, the Tiber glinting like a vein of silver. The Camerlengo, Cardinal Patrick McKenna, appears calm, composed, almost serene. Yet Langdon sees the subtle signs, gestures, expressions, the weight of knowledge and intent in his eyes. The man they trusted, whose devotion to faith seemed absolute, is revealed as the orchestrator of the entire crisis. McKenna explains, his voice steady, almost chilling. The antimatter threat was a ruse, a psychological weapon. Every murder, every symbol, every chase through Rome was designed not to destroy, but to test faith, courage, and devotion. His plan is morally complex, brilliant, terrifying, and entirely human. The Illuminati, as feared, may not have existed in the physical sense. Their shadow was carried out through the actions of one man, cloaked in belief and manipulation. Langdon and Vittoria confront him, tension electric in the cool night air. Words collide with emotion, intellect meets faith, and the city itself seems to hold its breath. The truth emerges in layers. The cardinals are safe, the antimatter neutralized, the danger never real in its physical form. Yet every risk, every fear, every panic had been real to those involved. McKenna's devotion twisted into action, and the lines between savior and villain blur like shadows along the dome. As dawn approaches, Rome begins to stir again. Langdon and Vittoria stand atop the Basilica, surveying the city, ancient streets, monuments, and fountains bathed in early light. The threat is over, yet the city holds its secrets. The Illuminati may be gone, but the echoes of their story, or at least of McKenna's orchestration, linger in whispers, shadows, and symbols etched into history. Langdon reflects on the journey, the murders, the symbols, the chases through streets, alleys, and underground crypts. Vittoria's courage, intellect, and scientific brilliance were indispensable. The city itself, a living, breathing puzzle, revealed its secrets slowly, testing their minds, hearts, and courage at every turn. Rome has survived, history remains intact, yet the story leaves an indelible impression. Knowledge and faith are powerful, perception can be deceived, and even in triumph, the shadows of mystery endure. The story closes with Langdon and Vittoria leaving the Vatican, their hearts still racing, their minds forever changed. The city glimmers below, alive with life, light, and ancient secrets. The final lesson is clear. The world is a tapestry of faith, history, science, and human ingenuity, and those who seek truth must navigate its shadows with intellect, courage, and heart. Even as they depart, Rome holds its secrets close, waiting for the next seeker to uncover them.